Hi, my name is Mark Stevens. I'm the SVP of Product at ROKA Multisport. Today I want to talk to you about a little bit of a wetsuit design and what goes into building our wetsuits and how we make them. We always say the fastest way to get faster in swimming is to improve your technique, and so we're trying to build suits that really build that swimmer technique, proper swimmer technique, body position, and proper flotation in the water. So wetsuits literally cover all of your body, so it's a really cool way for us to kind of guide you and put you in the right swimming position for your race. Wetsuit construction is this really crazy, complicated 3D puzzle. You have the variability of the neoprene itself, like the stretch of the neoprene, how it stretches one way and another way. You have the thickness of the neoprene, which affects your buoyancy and your stretch. And then you have the liner on the inside, which also has a lot of different stretches and variability as you can stretch it out. And then it's all about positioning all of those pieces together on the body to create the right swimming position for you. So our wetsuits have a lot of different seam lines everywhere that you can kind of see, and they're all purposely built. All are trying to maximize your body rotation or your downhill body position so that you're swimming the fastest you can. It's about identifying what is the right neoprene for me in this area of my body, and then what is the thickness that I need, what's the liner that I need, and how to map it all up together. Some really cool features, kind of just overarching features of our wetsuits, is some of our Centerline Buoyancy that we created first. When we first designed our wetsuits, Rob and Kurt, also former Stanford swimmers, got these wetsuits and they just couldn't swim in them. They were just so restricted on their shoulders. They just couldn't rotate. They could feel like they were kind of in a scuba suit, and they couldn't, sitting on a surfboard and couldn't really do anything. And they realized that they wanted to kind of create this freedom that swimmers need to swim properly in the water and get that free flow, that easy speed, as swimmers call it, so we can kind of get out fast. So first thing that they built was kind of a trademark of ROKA, is this center line that you see down the middle. So we have a thick panel down the middle as it tapers out towards the center, and then at thinnest on the arms. This is to encourage rotation. So when you're thinking about swimming, rotating is one of the most important pieces out there, because imagine, I always say, you're trying to reach for something on top of the fridge. You don't stand flat-footed and reach your hand up. You kind of rotate your body and you get those couple inches to get that stuff that's on top of the fridge. Imagine doing that every single swim stroke. You get a couple more inches every time you rotate your body. So rotation is hugely important in swimming. So we wanted a suit that encouraged rotation. And a lot of these wetsuits out there didn't. They kind of created this 5 millimeters everywhere, and you created this surfboard effect where you were flat-footed essentially while you're swimming. So we wanted to encourage that rotation effect. So that's the Centerline Buoyancy here. We also did want to increase kind of our legs foot buoyancy. So we do kind of maximize legs much as we can on the lower half of the body, kind of lift those legs up. In triathlon, you don't want to kick a lot. You want to have like a 2-beat kick at most, and save the legs and save the matches for later in the race. So we do want to encourage kind of this, have the legs in a level position that kind of lets you swim in a downhill or proper buoyancy profile. We do then, on a lot of our suits, we actually created this thinner layer down the side of the legs. Again, that's similar to the Centerline Buoyancy. We didn't want our legs to stay flat. We wanted to actually have something where when we started to rotate, it actually popped and encouraged that rotation, so we can get our hips all the way over and rotate all the way back. So that's our Centerline Buoyancy profile. And we just had this aha moment where everyone that you're in the apparel world designs patterns with your arms down, because we're all walking around with our arms down. No one's walking around like this. But when we're in the water, we're swimming, our arms are up. Most of the time, our arms are up and out and in front of us. So we decided that why don't we design the actual wetsuit with the steady state as an arms up position. So if you look at our suit, the normal position of the arm is up. So we have this just unlocked the comfort that comes with swimming in a ROKA wetsuit. It might feel like you got a little bit of extra material, but that's because your arms are down. And when you're out there and swimming, your arms are up front, it almost springs you forward and kind of gets you in that natural swimming position. Getting that right neckline took a lot of iteration. We did a lot of trial and error until we found the perfect neckline that we thought, as swimmers, was the best. We didn't want something that could come up and choke you. We didn't want something that was too open that it created water down the front. So again, it took us a lot of iterations and a lot of design testing, but finally nailed our neckline, which we apply to all of our ROKA styles, along with our arms up pattern applied to all of our ROKA styles. As we were watching Olympian-level swimmers out there, we realized how important the core was. You know, how do we lock in this core so that you kind of have your strength and your engine is secured? So what we did is we actually, again, used our three-dimensional puzzle of liners and different stretches to kind of help create points along the front and the back of the suit. Even our Maverick X3, which we don't have here, but we have special taping that just locks that core in so that you can swim tall when you're in the water. Like imagine, you know, someone lays their hand on your lower back, all of a sudden you sit up straight. And that's what we wanted our suit to do your entire swim, is to have you swim up straight so that you can maximize each stroke in the water and increase that distance per stroke. When we're watching swimmers at the end of their races, I think that's the most important part of the time to kind of understand where we can make improvements, because the end is where you're most tired. And as you get tired, you get sloppy. And that's why another reason for the core stability that we've created into the suit. So with the paneling, we kind of like locked your core, we kind of locked that back in place. And especially as you fatigue, a lot of swimmers get really loosey-goosey, get really sloppy, kind of sway their hips side to side instead of rotating their hips and keeping strong. So another reason for the taping and support panels that we've put into the suit now that we're kind of continuing to evolve our Maverick line.